I watched I watched another clip of that female whose name escapes me. It's hilarious. Maybe I'll put it on screen, But fuck. I watched another clip of this female, and it just got me triggered and shit, man. It's that goddamn female that was going at Stephen A. Smith, about the Boston coach being suspended for having a consensual sexual relationship outside of his, I guess, his marriage or something. And I want to posit that Nia Long is a millionaire, and this guy is a millionaire, and whatever happens between them is their business, and she'll be all right. She's a big girl, and she's no shrinking violet. She's no babe in the woods. Okay. One of the reasons I'm making this commentary is that I'm just really tired of I'm tired of saying it and I'm tired of talking about it, but I'm tired of the fucking double standard that, with women in general, they're strong, independent, and all that bullshit. But, matters regarding interpersonal matters, they're a babe in the woods. They become like this delicate little flower and shit, up to and including their wombs, all right? And the policing of their own fucking wombs and shit, I'm so tired of hearing this baby daddy shit, I'm tired of hearing about black men making women baby daddies and shit when it's your motherfucking body. You control what goes in and out of it. And if somebody else forces the issue, they're a criminal and shit, and they go to jail, and they have things going in and out of their bodies without fail and shit. If black men are so much of a degenerate and all this bullshit, and we make up a shitload of the population of this country's prisons and shit. If we're that much of a degenerate, why the fuck do they have to separate those people inside the jail, so that they can make it through their sentence, relatively alive and shit, think about that. We get demonized every day. I'm just tired of the propaganda. I will continue to fight it for as long as I can. Hopefully other people will take up the mantle and make videos as well. We have to keep communicating with each other and shit because we need to fight this nascent mindset and shit that's ruined our ethnic community and shit. And I'm just tired, I want to address that shit, the whole, I just want to tell a lot of you fucking women out there, there's no in hell that I'm gonna see you as a shrinking violet and shit. I'm gonna respect women by seeing them as a equal human being and shit and treating them as such. It's unfortunate that, in Western culture, we live in a transactional society and shit, but it is what it is, and we should, the sooner we learn to deal with that, the better and shit. We need to teach our future generations, i.e. the young men, all our young kings, to feel and think this way. We're behind, right? For over 40, 50 years. Women have been teaching one another to think in transactional terms and to see us less than. That's why you have this like patronizing, talk. When they talk to us, when they call themselves speaking to us, you have this infantilized, patronizing talking points and shit. They don't see anything wrong with it and shit. Recently I did some videos on Stacey Abrams bullshit. And I actually had a doctor picture I put up, and a lot of beta simps were coming at me and shit. Men were attacking me about, making those commentaries and shit. And, like, just fucking with me and doing the whole Jessica X thing about, like, how I'm a coward for hiding my identity and shit. And I don't really, I don't really feel like I'm hiding my identity and shit. It's my on-screen persona. These are shows I'm producing and shit. If you don't like it, you could, kick rocks and shit. But, like, a lot of beta males are just coming there. Sometimes I respond to these fuckers, but, no biggie. No biggie, man. But, like, I want to talk about, that I had made this video about Stephen A. having to check a woman on air on his own fucking show. This reporter, this lightweight reporter in her late 20s and this motherfucker in his 50s, she tried to call in and talk to him like he was her child and shit. And then I did the commentary, and I regret putting it out so soon because I found that I think she was talking to like Kendrick Perkins or somebody on the air, and she cut him off mid-sentence, and she's just been on this kick to protect this woman that had a consensual affair, who also worked for the Celtics organization and should be subject to disciplinary actions and shit. Okay, And I think like more men need to just be unapologetically masculine. These black women always talk about how they want to see a masculine man, and it's time for us to show that to them and be unapologetic about it. I realize that's kind of dangerous. It's kind of, yeah, it's dangerous for your career and everything, and some of you guys' freedom and shit. But we have to push through. The spook that sat behind the door, it's time for them to stand up and walk right out into the lights and shit, okay? Ever since they had the first movie, Birth of a Nation, we've been cast as some kind of a, monster and shit. Some kind of black boogeyman. And let's show them who the black boogeyman is. It's time for unapologetic masculinity and shit. And it's hard because, like, all these years, we had these broken homes and shit, or these matriarchal-led homes with these weak-ass men in it and shit that just, laid down and they passed that shit on to us. We had to break those chains. We have to break it. I noticed that, like, even when Stephen A. was admonishing this female, he still kind of backpedaled it a little bit and shit. And I noticed that guys do that when women show up and shit to, like, have a debate or fuck with them and shit. And I don't do that. I don't fucking do that. Like, the minute I start talking about some shit and then the female comes in, running her mouth or something, or talking to me about it, I listen to that shit, but I like, if I don't feel like I'm wrong, I keep going and the bitch just can't take it. They have to get the fuck out, or they get loud, or they just, they shut down and get the fuck out of my face. I want to see a lot more of that. I want to see consequences for their egregious misandry. This woman has a history of fucking with people in front of cameras and shit. She's 27 years old. She's fucking with people that have been in that have been professional athletes and been in the sports broadcasting business for like decades before she was even, a wet spot in her dad's underwear. I forgot her fucking name. I think it's funny that I forgot the bitch's name. I'm making a commentary about her. Don't put that up again. Yeah, I think it's funny as shit. Like, I totally forgot this chick's name and shit, And I'll just put the shit up, I want us to stop doing that, okay? They're just human beings. There's nothing different about them and shit. There are supposed overseers and shit. They've appointed themselves as such and shit after receiving set-asides and everything and betraying us for those government set-asides, the welfare and all the other bullshit, and they talk about this good game about, their education and degrees and their money and their holdings and shit, but then the ghetto is the fucking ghetto and shit, Actually, it originates in from a Jewish word and shit, The education doesn't mean any goddamn thing. Your money, all your bullshit, your hair, nails, your fucking booty, BBL don't mean shit to me. Fake titties, whatever you have, you offer, you always, every time you motherfuckers do something, it's always physically based around your appearance and shit. Despite what you say your accomplishments are and shit, it's always some shit around your fucking appearance and what you want from somebody and shit, but it's never building any goddamn thing and shit. And then you guys got the Stockholm Syndrome shit going on and the fucking gaslighting 24/7, 365 days a year. I'm just tired of it, man. I'm tired of the backtrack. It's time to just bulldoze into these motherfuckers. Okay? Everybody's gonna be a fucking Andrew Tate and shit. I wanna see a legion of us, man, like hundreds of thousands of Andrew Tates and shit, and for lack of a better word, shit, getting their ass banned and shit, I will make them ban us then. Fuck it, man. When they do more shit, they create more martyrs and shit. We gotta stop this shit. I'm incensed that Stacey Abrams went on this podcast, sat in the middle of a room full of brothers, and had the nerve to explain why the Democratic Party wasn't going to do shit for black people or even acknowledge them by name. And then you had Ice Cube on, Fox Soul and all those bitches on there, and one begrudging one, and Lisa Ray, told him that they saw themselves as a separate race from black people. All the fucking women there, particularly Vivica A. Fox, who has yet to be canceled and shit for all of her weird, egregious behavior, even big up in a man's death. We've seen a lot of shitty behavior from these women, man. It's time for more consequences, okay? Shabria Rawls, the therapist, cannot be the only one. More must follow and shit. And I would poo-poo any simp or beta cuck that wants to come in and say that, oh, black women are canceling other black women and all that bullshit. Like, no, you're not gonna take away anything away from us and shit. We're coming, goddammit. You know, winter's coming and we're in that snow, we're in that blizzard, walking, you know. And whatever happens, just happens and shit, you know. I want to let you know, you know, I'm a, I'm a misogynist anarchist and shit. You know, I think the whole shit needs to just go in the wood chipper and start over from fucking scratch and shit. You know, and we don't need women's compliance to do this shit, okay?